Welcome DS back to DS Trucks. I took a little bit of a hiatus from YouTube. I haven't been making videos the past few weeks. So in today's video, I want to explain to you where I've been. So let's get inside the 7.3 F350 and talk about what's been going on over here at DS Trucks. Driving along in the 7.3 Godzilla, the truck's running great. I just want to talk about what happened over the last couple of weeks, why I stopped making videos, and needless to say, the stress got to me. Everything going on, business, staffing, trying to get through everything, and just dealing with the normal things, daily stress of running a business. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, then you probably don't know that we have a landscape operation that we run day to day. I usually don't film that because it is business. I usually don't film the day to day of that. Sometimes I do pick up the camera here and there, but when I got guys working and stuff, there's very minimum. I'm not trying to shove the camera in their face and make my channel about my workers or about my clients or anything like that. I do keep the channel more of a truck channel, although when it comes to snow, that's where the lines really get blurred, where I do quite a bit of snow plowing videos, but the day-to-day lawn mowing, landscaping, that kind of thing, I don't know, maybe it's just where my interest is not, to show that type of work or that type of thing. Although I do a little bit of filming for the business separate, that's more promotional, and I do have a lawn channel that's more geared to lawns, but I'm not super active on that channel. And sometimes people go over there and they're like, this is DS, you're stealing videos from DS. And it's like, no, this is DS. I'll do a video here and there about some equipment or stuff or whatever, but it's not really a main focus. It only has like 500 or so subscribers. It could really be a big thing, but I don't know. I don't know what, where my heart really falls or where it's at, but I just haven't focused that much on that side of the business as far as videos. But what happened? How did the stress get to me? So the truth is, I just wanted to make videos. Sometimes that's where my mind is, and that can be a detriment to a business, having a side thing that generates revenue, regardless of what business you're in. Having a business on the side can hurt the main gig. It was like that at Ford. It's like that now with YouTube. At Ford, I had YouTube, I had the business, I had all these different revenue streams, and it definitely has a negative effect as far as the attendance, as far as like, I pretty much wanted to be gone. Like anytime I had the chance to be gone from Ford, I'd be gone. And that's how it is now with the lawn business. It's like anytime I have a chance to be gone, I'll be gone and doing videos. That's how it's a detriment. Nonetheless, what happened is I just had to take a break and focus on business for the last couple of weeks. And why is that, guys? The staffing side of the business is hard. That side of the business is very difficult. And the workers, the employees, they really put me through the ringer. We had some good help. We had a lot of great help this year. And it just is what it is. A lot of times when you hire these young guys or girls to work, they're just passing through. They're just doing something right now. They want to try it out. They want to have something that's better, maybe a little bit better paying. Maybe they don't want to sit inside of a Cold Stone Creamery or a tropical smoothie all year or whatever, and they just want to try the landscaping outdoors. Because, whatever, I know people who've worked, and most of the time people have had a decent enough experience where their family members get recommended as they get ready to go off to college and stuff. And in today's day and age, as far as me finding help, a lot of times that's all I can help. Or a lot of times that's all I can find is like a college kid or a high school kid just working for the summer. But the challenge with that is training up a guy and having him work for just a summer. Well, by the time he's trained, it's time for him to go back to school, and it's hard for me to justify the training when someone's going back to school. It's very difficult. I need somebody, if I'm going to put the time and energy and money into training them, then I need them to stick through to the end of the season. And that just didn't pan out. And I did a ton of hiring this year, like an absurd amount. Like, I've hired so many people and had to let so many go. And that's just how the world is right now. It's like, if you are out here hiring, then you probably know that staffing is just one of the most difficult things to do. I mean, people want to walk all over the employer. This year, I hired a guy, no experience, best pay that you could even expect in our area. I think I offered him like $22.50 an hour. I need you to be able to have a driver's license. I need you to be able to drive the truck. And I need you to be able to mow the lawns. And then after you mow the lawns, I need you to be able to do the landscaping after that. Now, the reality is, I'm not going to be able to find that kind of a person right out of the box. And the point is, I have to train you. And in order for me to train you, I need you to show up. If you show up and I train you and show you the ins and outs and all the finesse and everything that's required for you to do the job, then I can train you. But you have to be able to show up. So I paid this guy. Now, normally when you start someone off like this, you don't pay him the full pay right away. You start off at like $15 or whatever, so that we can afford to train you. In normal times, we start you off like $12 an hour. You're learning, you're winning. You're getting a lower wage, sure, but you're winning because you're gaining all the knowledge that you do not have. You're coming into something in a situation company where hey, if I hand you all the truck and equipment, can you go make this happen? No, you cannot. So I have to train you at a lower wage. We skipped all that. Here's your full wage. Here's the top pay. Here you go. Top pay. We need to train you. And still you have people don't show up. I trained this guy for a couple of days. When the pressure got on him, he quit, disappeared. Don't know where he went. Disappeared for a couple months and came back and said, well, I got a tree job that paid $30 an hour, but they don't actually pay me. So can I come back? I'd love to work for you for the 22. And it's like, dude, I was already overpaying you. You keep not coming in. This is a recurring event. What do you want me to tell you if you don't show up? You want me to keep doing this? So that kind of stuff has been going on. I had a guy start off this year making $26 an hour. And to be honest, the wage was a little high. I didn't want to pay that guy that much money. I had him start off $26 an hour. This guy was not fit. And I knew it. I mean, I knew the thing is, these people talk over the phone. Yeah, I can do this. I can run that old company. The guy came in not fit. I hate to say it, and I don't want to offend anybody, but the guy was overweight, diabetes, all kinds of medications. And that's all fine and dandy. Can you do the job? Can you move? Because I'm paying you this money and you can't really move good. So that was that. Get in the truck, work for a little while. Hey, man, I really don't want to have to ever do anything by myself, just letting you know. I'm like, man, you're making $26 an hour. You never want to be left alone. You need someone to look at you and babysit you the whole time while you work. You can't ever be by yourself. What if I want to work in this truck and you work in that truck and we both work by ourselves? Maybe that happens from time to time. You're telling me. It's interesting that a lot of these people that I've hired from other companies that are coming in at a high wage, they feel like they can't ever be left to do anything without someone working underneath them or doing something with them. It's pretty interesting to see that. I had a couple guys do that. A guy had to work by himself for like 2 hours because I was with him for the day, and for whatever reason I had to leave. This has been a hard part too. It's like me having kids. I had to leave for 2 hours once, and the guy was making like $22 an hour. He named his price. He was making $22 an hour, and he worked by himself for 2 hours. And he said, when I worked by myself, I was really unsafe. I was actually really scared that I was working by myself and that someone was going to rob me. And yeah, I really appreciate never having to work by myself because someone's going to rob me out here. And I'm like, man, rob you? How are you going to get robbed? Bro, you out here with nothing. What are they going to rob you for? They're going to rob me. I'm out here letting you work. I don't know if you're going to rob me. Ooh. 7.3. 7.3 sounds good. Oh. I was just doing a video saying, man, maybe the 6.2 is the same or better as the 7.3. I think I want to retract my statements. This truck sounds awesome just driving down on a perfectly paved asphalt road. But yeah, this guy accused me of putting him in an unsafe situation because he was working and he didn't have a partner with him. Brother, do you understand how short-staffed everything is? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you can't say how you're getting robbed when you're in like the nicest area. Not saying that nobody can steal, but you're worried about you getting robbed. Like, what are you talking about? You know, so the amount of crazy stuff that you see and hear is, there's no shortage of that. This guy, I mean, there's so many. The turnover this year has been crushing. It's hard on the bottom line. It's the training and training and training and training and firing and firing and firing. I've been through so many people that I'm sure you guys all have heard this from every business owner. The wages are just, they're too high. The wages are too high, period. We have to start these people off at numbers. Like I'm trying to hire people at a competitive wage, just get them to open up, to get them to walk through the front door and figure out the repercussions later. But it doesn't matter what I'm paying if no one's showing up, because there's no one to pay. I can pay any number if no one's still going to show up. So what difference does it make? And that's the situation I've been in. What I did this year is I made a huge mistake, and I recalled one of my old workers who I know he's got problems. Problems like coming into work late every day, coming in high on freaking God knows what every day. And after going through a bunch of guys and being in a desperate situation, feeling like I'm in a desperate situation, I got on the phone and I said, hey man, it's time for you to come off of whatever unemployment thing you're on and come back to work. And he would, of course, the guy was all super excited to be back, and he was like, yeah, I'll be back, I'll be there tomorrow. He comes in here and he works good. Like, when it comes to doing the work he's experienced, and he did the work okay, and things were okay for a couple of weeks. And I had some younger people work this year as well, help with some bigger projects. And that was a challenge for sure, because they're younger and they're not trained, and they got their whole youngness problems. Like, hey, me and my family are going on vacation for a month, so while you trained me for the last month, I'm gonna just leave for a month and go on vacation, so bye. Like, dang, like that happened all year. And what are you gonna do? I don't know. I got no one else, so I guess I'll see you in a month. So it's been hard with labor. You really don't have the authority. But bringing this guy back, he came in here and was just a bad apple. Argued with the young kids that were working, mad at them every day. I mean, we had a girl work this year, and she wasn't experienced, but we were training her and stuff and whatever. And this guy came in here and argued with this girl. She's 18, 19 years old, I think. I don't even know how old she is. She's probably 18, 19. And he come in here and argued with her all year long about leaf blowing, about whatever. I'm like, what are you talking about? Leaf blowing? What are you saying? Well, she's blowing dust all over me, and I'm like, dude, she's not blowing dust on you. Like, what are you talking about? She's blowing me, man. And I'm like, okay. So after a while, I had to really think about it. And the girl, she was going back to college in a couple of weeks, and I really just, again, making poor decisions. And I take full responsibility for my situation with staffing and everything. And this is leading up to now, current day, and why I had to take a little hiatus from filming, from making videos. This is what happened. The guy sits up here and argues with this girl, and it gets to be serious. Like, he's really upset to the point where I'm trying to talk to him on the side, and I'm trying to explain to him that this girl's not doing anything to him, that it's all in, like, it's like, what are you saying? That she's leaf blowing you? Like, what are you talking about? And he gets to the point where he's literally like upset. And he's really telling me that the girl is out to get him. She's coming after him and purposely leaf blowing him and getting dust into the air, and she's just doing this on purpose. And I'm telling him, like, I haven't seen any of this, and I'm with you. Like, you're talking to me, you're telling me something, bro. I'm here. Like, how are you telling me this? And I told him, and I said, so I would imagine that if she's leaf blowing you, that I'm leaf blowing you too, huh? And he goes, yeah, man, you are leaf blowing me, man. Everybody's leaf blowing me. I'm like, this guy's nuts. Like, he's losing it. And it comes out like the drugs he's on, whatever he's using, it's just got him thinking crazy. And I only had a week left with her. She was really helping me more on the landscaping jobs, because for those jobs you needed a little bit of extra hand and a little bit of extra, muscle. And it's not so much finesse as far as like cutting a lawn. You need a ton of finesse in the lawns that we cut. You have to really be doing some trimming and stuff like that, where it's a little bit harder to train that. I wasn't even done really training this girl on that, because instead of training her like you're supposed to, you're sitting up here arguing with her over a leaf blower. So I ended up telling her, like, hey, this last week, help me with the landscaping and I'll just separate you two. I'll have you help me with the landscaping. This other worker his back hurts or whatever, he can't help me with landscaping. So she's helping me with the landscaping, the hard work, because it's too heavy for him. And he's just doing the mowing because that's all he wants to do anyway. And I'll separate you two. I'll have you work those days and he work these days, and you guys be separated. And then after this week, you're going anyway. So I guess at the end of the day, I'm the only person with enough patience to deal with him, and I'll just deal with his craziness when you're gone. So that's where we went. I said, hey, I'm going to deal with this craziness. And the reason I'm keeping him around is once he's gone and I'm doing all the work, that takes all that energy away from me being able to do what I want to do, is make videos and have the energy and time, whatever, to make content. And I tried to make it work, but a couple of weeks are going by while we're working, and this guy comes in here freaking depressed, crying every single day, complaining about everything. Like, it's like, man, check your stuff at the door, please. Check your stuff at the door. When you come up in here sad every day, depression, it's like, I can only help you so much, and especially if you won't listen to me. Like, you're coming to me with all your little drama, and I try to give you any kind of advice, and you don't want to listen to any of it. What do you want me to say? Like, I tell you to relax, and you don't. I tell you to, so that was a part of the issue. And then just the normal drama. Like, the guy will come to work here every single day. He comes in late. He comes in 20 minutes late, 20 minutes late, 20 minutes late. So you just say, I got nobody else right now. I guess I'll deal with it. Just come in 20 minutes late and won't go to work. That's not good enough for this guy. Now he has to come in here an hour late. Now, okay, it's like, listen, man, I can't wait for you for an hour. I'm going to leave you. And then I leave him, and then he's all mad at me and upset. It's like, bro, why are you upset at me when you're late? You've been late every day. The guy will come in here late and then yell at the other workers because they're not working yet. It's like, dude, you're so late. Everything's done, and we're waiting on you, and you come in here yelling at people. Like, are you retarded? So, I'm just the only person dealing with him right now. I'm doing my best. As the more patient that I would be with this guy, the more he would push back. The more patient I would be, the more he'd push back. And he'd be saying, wow, man, I'm really impressed that you're not mad at me. You're yelling at me because this is BS how I'm acting. So what ended up happening, the final straw, is he comes up in here and he freaking backs that trailer, the big new trailer that I spent $10,000 on. He comes in here and backs it up and hits my house with that trailer. He runs it right into my house, knocks my gutters off, scratches up this brand new $10,000 trailer. And then I'm like, well, what the heck, man? What's going on? He goes, yeah, I hit the house with the trailer, but I'll pay for it. Don't worry, I'll pay for it. And I'm like, that's very noble of you to pay for it. Let me see how much it'll cost. I mean, you should pay for it. You freaking hit my house. Like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? You back this thing up all the time. All of a sudden, you're hitting the house. Like, what the heck? So he goes, what do you mean you're going to get a price? We can fix it ourselves. Bro, I'm not a gutter man. I do a few things. I work on trucks a little bit. I do landscaping. There's no way that I'm going to freaking be a seamless gutter guy too. Could I fix it? Maybe, but I'm not trying to spend a whole freaking day fixing it. Why do you, this guy, this is how out of touch this guy is with reality, and I'm stuck working with him. He comes up in here and says, I'll pay for it. And I say, okay, that's very noble. Then he tells me, we can fix it ourselves. Bro, if I fix it myself, then that's not you paying for it. That's me freaking fixing it myself. And by the way, maybe I can fix it myself, but you can't. You cannot. You don't have any altitude. So how do you fix it yourself? How about you just pay the guy to fix it? Well, that guy's going to rip you off. I can come in there with some duct tape and I can tape it on there. I can tape your whole, this fool knocked my whole gutter off. I can tape it up with some tape, some gutter tape. Bro, there ain't no such thing as gutter tape. What are you talking about? Like, that's what I'm dealing with. So that's when I kind of drew the line and just said, you know what? This person is so out of touch with reality that I told him that, I said, hey, I don't, instead of me saying to this guy, you're fired, I just told him we were so slow that there was no more work. Because the repercussions of saying that to this person, being a crazy person, is so bad. It's such a bad situation. There's so many negative repercussions to having some kind of a retaliation event between me and this worker. Pretty cool mower there. There's so many issues with having retaliation between me and this worker when this person's mind is just so warped, out of reality, out of touch with reality. I told him, hey, it's gotten to be so slow that I just don't have nothing for you right now, and I'm gonna have to lay you off because it's so slow. But really, it's not really that slow. I could have you work if you can work. Like, if you could come in here and not destroy my equipment and destroy my property and do the job, then you can work. But I gotta work with you. I gotta sit here with you and babysit you and deal with you and listen to you, and you be late and your back hurts. While we're working, my back hurts, my neck hurts, my hurts. My leaf blower, I'm carrying a leaf blower. It's like, dude, who complains? What kind of landscaper complains about carrying a leaf blower? What are you talking about? Like, what? So, the drug use that he was on, he was coming in here, he's starting to use some kind of weird powder at work, and then he was in utter pain unless he had this weird powder. I don't know if it's fentanyl. I don't know what it is. I gave him like a week off. We talked about maybe him not using the drugs no more. He refused to stop using the drugs. He come in here and say, man, I tried, but I can't stop using that drug. It's a horrible drug. Don't ever try it. It's like, what kind of person's using a drug that you don't even want anyone to try it? Like, it's a terrible drug. Why are you using it? Why are you telling people not to do this? Don't do this drug I'm using right now, man. It's horrible, man. It's a terrible drug, man. So why are you using it? Like, what kind of horrible drug do you use and you don't even want to use it? And you don't want no one else to use it? It's just so stupid. All of it's so stupid. And he can't get off of it. And I can't really, like, I'm talking to him, I'm saying, hey, man, what can I do for you? How can I help you get off of this drug? Can we talk about it? and he just can't get off of the drug, and is in utter pain without the drug, and then he's just in pain in general until he gets a little bit of that, and he just starts talking uncontrollably, and you can't shut him up. I don't understand what the drug is. I don't know. All I know is he's on some drugs. All I know is he's on some hardcore drugs. So with the house being hit, I got a price. It ended up being like $500 to replace the gutter and whatever, fix XYZ on the gutter. And he's like, man, you really got ripped off on that. He didn't pay for it. He can't pay for it. Like, it's not even worth it for me to pursue having him pay for it. And when I say this, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. The amount of headache that comes from that, from me having altercation with him, it's just not worth it. Because then he's going on Google and leaving horrible reviews. Oh, he's the worst guy in the world. Everybody I know, leave him a bad review. He's one of those type of guys. So what happened is I gave him the layoff, whatever. It's been a couple weeks. I've been out here grinding by myself, trying to get everything done, hustling. And I get a call from an old worker, the guy who stole my trailer. And he goes, yeah, I was talking to your other guy, and he was telling me that you wanted to do something to me. He was telling me that you're planning on harming me. So they're arguing with each other because they don't like each other. The one guy who's crazy, who's arguing with everybody here and not doing his job like he's supposed to, so he got laid off. He's telling the other guy who stole my trailer that I'm going to do something to him or cause harm to him. And so basically he's threatening the other worker through me. Like, why are you threatening the other guy, telling the other guy what I'm going to do to him? Like, what kind of mess is that? That's a mess. So I just was like, okay, listen, I'm obviously not going to do nothing to you. Yes, you stole my trailer. He goes, well, I didn't steal your trailer. I go, dude, I know you stole my trailer. He goes, we kind of go back and forth on that a little, and he's got nothing to say, really. Because I'm like, dude, everything you've done has pointed to this trailer being stolen by you. Why did you lie about XYZ? Why did you tell all these different lies for no reason? I have no reason for you to tell these lies. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? And he's just like, yeah, you got a point. Everything I did in the last weeks following the trailer theft do represent, man, this lady's driving weird, do represent, the idea that I could have stolen the trailer, but I didn't steal the trailer. It's like, dude, whatever. So the point is, the guy is already, like, I never even told him why I laid him off or let him go, but the guy is already causing issues with the company. And I haven't even had a negative encounter with him. Just told him it was slow, so I got to lay you off. The guy is already causing problems. So after that, he will text me. He's just texting me, blowing me up. And when he texts me, I said, listen, man, this is your last year with the company. It's not that we were just slow. Like, your performance really suffered, and that's why you really got laid off. It's not just being slow. I've been working this whole time, but your performance suffered. And he's responding like, really? I thought I was doing really good. I thought I was doing great. He's going back and forth. And I'm like, listen, man, I'm working. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. And that was it. And that was the last time we talked. I keep him muted on the phone because he will blow me up. But that's pretty much what happened. The stress from this worker, and just in general, the stress. It's not that I was like crying or anything or nothing like that. I just couldn't pick up the camera. Sometimes it's hard to pick up the camera when you want to pick it up and smile and be like, hey guys, welcome back to DS Trucks. But sometimes it's not how you feel. You just have a serious mode, and business can be very serious and can be very difficult, and you deal with difficult situations. And that was the choices that I made. I made some tough choices, trying to keep the business going. The last couple of years, it's been hard. 2020, I started mowing lawns and doing landscaping. That I wasn't doing that before. I had a crew of guys. I think when I started off, I was working in the field, and being at Ford and stuff and working and needing to hire people, I ended up, working my way out of the field pretty early on, and was out of the field for a number of years. When everything got started with the government mandates and stuff, that's when I ended up back in the field, and it was a kind of a adjustment for me to make. Since 2020, I've been trying to hire myself back out of the field, because it's hard to run a business when you're running around in your business. It's hard to have a clear sight of everything that needs to be done and everything that needs to happen when your head's down and you're always just doing the day-to-day grind of your business. It's hard to really plan when your plate's just full. But at the same time, how much longer can I keep trying to fill this position that just will not fill? How many times do I try to train somebody and then have them leave the company with the training? That does take an effect. That does take a toll on me, on the business, on everybody, that I keep hiring people and something ends up happening. The person that stole my trailer, I was hiring him to do the job. I was training him to do the job. He was busy stealing equipment from me and stealing out of people's yards. He basically only wanted the job so he could case properties. Everybody that I've brought on, I had my other guy who helped me plow snow. He was training to be able to do something, but he went to a different company. No big deal, but that's a lot of training that just leaves, all your talent. With all your talent constantly leaving the company, it's difficult. So that's where we've been. That's what's been going on. I really have to sit down and think. It's like, how much longer do I keep bringing people on and training them? Do I need a year off? Does things change? Does the mentality change to where people actually want to do this? Do I need to pivot the business? That's been a thought, to pivot the business to a different level or different, field, maybe, to where people actually want to be in it. It's a very difficult situation to be in. So, it's expensive. These wages are high and everything's high. The unemployment insurance is high, 10-11% for unemployment insurance. The workman's comp is high, 10-11% for that. You got over 20% of your wages automatically freaking taxed, or it's basically a form of a tax. Then you have the taxes. So you're out freaking easily 30% on top of whatever, maybe more on top of whatever you're paying. Then you get people, you're paying them $20 an hour. That doesn't matter. Like, everybody that says these wages need to be higher, they don't understand that it don't matter what wage you're paying. Do you think anybody's gonna do a higher level of work? You need a low wage. You need a $10 an hour wage to even give the most amount of people a chance, so that you can actually raise up the good ones. And with the wages being, you gotta pay someone $20 an hour, $25 an hour, $30 an hour, can't do a job. It's not worth it for the business, because everyone thinks they deserve X amount of dollars, but they can't do anything with the business. You got to get this amount of wage when you can't even bring any experience to the table. So, that's what the struggle has been, having these high wages, having employees at high wages. Bro, you giving a person a high wage and they're walking all over the company. Everybody this year had to take a month off for their vacation abroad. I don't know, vacation out. We're going to Florida for a month. We're going hunting for a month. We're going to summer camp for a month. It's like, what am I going to do? I got no one else. So that's what I've been struggling with, is just dealing with all of that. And yeah, that's it. So had to take a little break, had to get my head screwed on a little. Things are definitely slowing down now as we are after Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving. Hope you all had a good time. But things are finally starting to maybe slow down enough to where I can maybe do some filming, do some videos for DS trucks. But anyway, guys, this video is long enough. My name is Sean. This is DS Trucks. Hope to see you in the next video. Over and out.